Hello, and thank you for joining me again today. I wanted to share a video with you. It'll be the first in a series of videos, and it's going to be about tarot and healing. The reason I wanted to create videos in this really important area is that I truly feel tarot is an awesome tool that can help you on your healing path. For me, when I first started reading tarot, it was something that I could count on when I was sort of struggling with some decisions, trying to figure things out. And then as the years progressed, and it's become a tool for so many other things for me. It's an amazing way to tap into my intuition. It is an amazing tool for people to use for self-development and growth. It's great for inspiration. People use it as a tool for writing and creating characters, and there's all kinds of ways to use tarot, but one of the really key areas for me with tarot is helping people and helping them with healing. Life can be really difficult. There can be all kinds of situations that we are faced with, and when we're stuck in the middle of it, sometimes it's really difficult to know what to do next. And so what I wanted to do is just start off today with sharing some cards with you that sort of identify situations when there may be something going on that you are likely aware of, but maybe not willing to or ready to admit, or maybe you are, but you're just stuck, because sometimes we get into this place and it's really hard to open up and talk about it, or give ourselves permission to do something. So I'm going to share a couple of cards with you that I think identify some strong possibilities of something going on wrong that maybe you need some help with, and then some things that, cards that can help you to sort of move forward. And so I'm going to start off with the Nine of Swords. And if you're familiar with the Nine of Swords, I just have to get used to where to put this with this camera. The Nine of Swords, you can see that she's sitting on her bed, and there are other images of her, and she's worried, she's upset, she's concerned, and obviously there's something that's going on, and it's probably keeping her awake at night. And this can apply to so many things. We can get into situations in relationships, in our jobs, in finances, all kinds of areas of our life where we get worried, we get concerned, we're anxious about something, and those things, those thoughts can keep us awake at night. And so tarot is a wonderful way for sometimes, when we're trying to put on that happy face and just say, yeah, everything's fine, the card comes out and sort of hits you over the head and says, yeah, no, it's not quite so fine. Or it just says, you know what, it's okay to look after this because this has been going on for a while. Another card for me that, not necessarily for everyone, but one that I've certainly experienced in a negative manner, and this is the Emperor. And the Emperor for me quite often has come up when there's been someone that is in a position of authority and is a bully, someone that's manipulative. If you've ever experienced and I hope you haven't, but I mean, people experience situations of abuse, manipulation, being overpowered, someone that's just having a bad effect on the decisions that you're making, or is setting up ultimatums for you that it's their way or the highway. So, the other person this role, this card quite often comes up for is bosses, managers that are tyrants. And I've had some really good ones, and I've had some really miserable jerks. And knowing, recognizing the situation for what it is, and it's where you start on your healing path. You always have to start with recognizing there's a problem and what the root cause of that is. Another card that comes up that can sometimes represent some serious influences that are, causing problems for you is the shadows. In a lot of the archetype types of decks, this is represented by the devil. And when I created my tarot deck, I wanted it something that was a little more in tune with what we face in today's life. We face situations where there are people that are trying to manipulate us, again, much like the Emperor, but who have hidden agendas, really sneaky. Fraud comes to mind. Situations that, where there are people that are a bad influence in terms of addictions. There's the list goes on. We've got a lot of really good people in the world, but there are a lot of people that you need to watch out for, a lot of influences that you need to watch out for in order to look after your own health and well-being. And so when that card comes up in a reading, it's like, okay, you need to watch out for this. If it's a new relationship, you might want to take a look at, what's going on and what's really going on under the surface. Is there things that are being hidden, that aren't being shared with you, things that aren't being the person isn't being truthful about. But the shadows is also about our own shadow self, and it's about recognizing those aspects of ourselves and what we need to do to stay balanced and how we can look after ourselves. Another card that quite often will come up and identify some challenges is the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles, Pentacles is your physical realm. So it's your health, it's your finances, it's what's happening in your everyday life. And so when the five comes up, it's definitely a time when you're feeling underappreciated. You feel like that all the hard work you're doing isn't being recognized. You're exhausted. Fatigue is something you're really struggling with. It could be pain. There's all kinds of illnesses and chronic conditions that can be a real challenge. Those are the kinds of things that that we face on a regular basis. And so again, much like any healing path, recognizing what's going on is your first step towards healing. The other card that comes up sometimes when we seem to try and keep ignoring what's happening and what maybe we need to make a change for ourselves is the Tower. And you can see the storm and the tower sort of blowing up a bit, and you can see that she's on a balcony, and there is a dove, and if you look at the top you can see there's a bit of a rainbow there. And that's because I really believe that when huge change happens like that, when foundations of the things that have existed need to be shook up, it's because it hasn't been working. Okay, and so realistically, I think that card comes up when we sort of need that extra push that says, you have to do something. Okay, you can't carry on, the same path, doing the same thing you've done, and expect things to change. So that card will come up sometimes in a reading and just say, okay, let's have a talk about this and what steps you can take to move forward. There's a lot of cards within the tarot that talk about ways that you can make changes. The Two of Pentacles, making a choice in life. Quite often we have to make that initial step and make some choices in order to be able to heal and start taking care of what really matters. There's an awesome card. I changed the Hangman to letting go, because really I think in this situation when you're feeling tied down and suppressed and not able to do what you want to do, quite often it's because you've got to let go of something that's toxic and no longer serving you. So there's all kinds of cards in the tarot that help us to recognize problems, situations that we need healing from. things that perhaps we're holding on to from the past for too long, and it's time to let go of them. And so it gives you an opportunity to actually actively take steps for yourself to heal. And for me, I know that my healing journey began a long time ago, but and I won't kid you, like, there are easier and harder steps in this journey we have in life. I have learned to live with a chronic illness, chronic pain, depression, those kinds of things. Some days are better and other days are not so good, but and some days I really kick its butt. So, you know, to me, it's all about finding ways to live our dreams, find our joy, and live from a contented place of heart. So I hope that you've garnered a bit, you know, maybe some different ideas of how you can use the tarot. I plan on doing more videos. I'm going to start with the guide cards that I have in the Rainbow Travelers Tarot, and I'm going to start with the 4 suits and the healer cards. So we've got the Healer of Cups, the Healer of Pentacles, the Healer of Swords, and the Healer of Wands. So we'll go through those cards individually and sort of see what kind of messages they have, things and suggestions perhaps that will resonate with you. And I hope that you really, no matter where you are on your healing journey, you make time to do the things that nurture yourself, because you can't do anything without looking after yourself. So take gentle care of yourself. Always be kind. Some things, and certainly change in life isn't always easy, especially sometimes making changes for things you know you need to do for yourself. So I'm just here to support you in that and to share some of the insights that the tarot has regarding this. Take care, and I hope to talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye for now.